Suzanne Simpson, 51, lived in Alamos Park, Texas, a place of quiet streets, century-old bungalows, and a community where everyone knew each other. She was a successful luxury realtor, a devoted mother of 4, and deeply loved by friends and neighbors. She had built a life that many envied. Early mornings running 8 miles, competing in 22 marathons, even qualifying for the elite Boston Marathon. Suzanne thrived on discipline and perseverance. At work, she was relentless, calling clients in Europe in the dead of night, ensuring every detail was perfect, leaving no stone unturned in her 13-year real estate career. But behind the cheerful smiles and endless energy, Suzanne carried a secret. Her husband, Brad Simpson, 53, was charming in public but controlling at home. Friends noted his jealousy, his need to track her every move. Suzanne's world, seemingly flawless, hid shadows that would soon erupt into horror. Act 2. The night of October 6, 2024. On a cool October evening, Suzanne attended a private party at the Argyle, an exclusive members-only dining club. She brought her youngest daughter, aged 5, hoping for an ordinary evening. But tensions flared. Witnesses would later describe a verbal altercation escalating into physical violence. By 8:30 p.m., she and her daughter were captured on surveillance shopping at a nearby H-E-B grocery store. Minutes later, Suzanne called a family friend. And 1 minute after that, she called her mother, reporting that Brad had assaulted her. At that very moment, Brad suspended her phone service, cutting her off from help. By 10 p.m., a neighbor heard arguing in the front garden. They watched as Suzanne tried to flee, her husband chasing her. Then came the screams. 2, maybe 3, echoing from the wooded area behind her home. That was the last time anyone heard Suzanne Simpson's voice. Act 3. The beginning of a nightmare. Brad Simpson's actions in the hours following her disappearance were calculated. Surveillance footage would later show him transporting large, suspicious items in his lorry. An ice chest, heavy-duty bins, trash bags, and a blue tarpaulin concealing an unknown object. He cycled his phone on and off, purchased cement and cleaning supplies with cash, and moved between counties, all while making no report of Suzanne's disappearance. In a single night, Suzanne's world of safety, love, and routine crumbled. The mother, daughter, and community that had relied on her now faced uncertainty, fear, and the terrifying question: what had truly happened to Suzanne Simpson? Act 4. The Trail of Evidence. As dawn broke on October 7th, Suzanne Simpson was already missing. But Brad Simpson's meticulous movements had left a trail investigators would later follow with growing horror. Surveillance captured his lorry carrying suspicious items: white rubbish bags, a heavy-duty bin, an ice chest, and a blue tarpaulin, concealing a bulky object. By 9:12 a.m., at a Whataburger drive-thru, he was recorded with items carefully arranged, as though hiding evidence in plain sight. Brad's phone data showed him cycling his device on and off, a method rarely used except to avoid detection. He visited Home Depot, buying cement, heavy-duty rubbish bags, disinfectant, and insect repellent, paying entirely in cash, deviating from his usual habits. Each movement was calculated, deliberate, and chillingly methodical. Investigators would later connect these actions to one terrifying conclusion: Brad was disposing of a human body, and every purchase, every trip, was part of a sinister plan to erase Suzanne Simpson from existence. Act 5. The Lies and the Alibi. Brad's public persona remained calm, almost casual. He did not report Suzanne missing, even as the hours passed. He dropped off their 5-year-old daughter at school, carrying suspicious containers in his truck. He called a friend and sent cryptic messages. "Leave all that ass in the pump house, especially that gun." Behind the walls of his home, behind the polished veneer of suburban normalcy, lay chaos. Phones were destroyed in a ranch fire, electronic devices incinerated, all evidence of an effort to cover his tracks. A neighbor's eyewitness testimony became crucial. They had seen Suzanne struggle, flee into the woods, and then heard the screams. Despite Brad's calm front, the evidence painted a different story, one of violence, control, and premeditation. Act 6. The Unraveling. By October 9th, law enforcement had begun piecing together a chilling puzzle. Burned laptops, destroyed mobile phones, and remnants of cement and heavy-duty bags were discovered. A hollowed-out wall at an associate's house revealed a fully automatic AK-47, traced back to Brad's arsenal. Each discovery tightened the noose. Investigators were uncovering a calculated, deliberate effort to conceal a crime of the gravest nature. And while Suzanne's body had not yet been found, the circumstantial evidence, phone tracking, surveillance footage, purchases, eyewitness accounts, and forensic clues, all pointed to one horrifying truth. She was gone, and Brad Simpson had orchestrated it. The stage was set for the legal battle ahead. A case built not on a body, but on a meticulously documented trail of deceit, violence, and destruction. Act 7. The legal battle begins. As the investigation intensified, Brad Simpson faced mounting pressure. On December 5, 2024, prosecutors revealed the cornerstone of their case. Suzanne's DNA was found on a reciprocating saw Brad had attempted to conceal. Despite the absence of a body, the evidence was damning. Brad was formally charged with murder, tampering with evidence, and possession of prohibited weapons. His bond was set at $5 million. Legal experts noted the strength of the circumstantial case. Surveillance footage, eyewitness testimony, phone records, and forensic evidence created a detailed picture of what had occurred that October night. Brad's defense attempted to challenge the indictment, claiming it was vague and lacked a medical examiner's report. But Judge Joel Perez ruled against him, confirming that the prosecution did not need to prove the exact mechanism of Suzanne's death, only that Brad intended to kill her and caused her death. For the family, the legal proceedings were a mix of hope and anguish. Every document, every piece of footage, reinforced the reality that Suzanne was gone, yet justice had not yet been fully served. Act 8. A community holds its breath. By October 2025, 1 year after Suzanne disappeared, her body remained missing. Texas Rangers, local police, and federal agents continued searching the woods, highways, and properties connected to Brad, holding on to the hope of closure. Suzanne's children became powerful voices for domestic violence awareness. Her eldest daughter, Chandler, posted a viral statement. "My father took my mother's life in a state of rage and control. This is the time to speak. Speak for my mom." As the trial approached in February 2026, the community watched, gripped by both fear and fascination. Brad remained in administrative segregation, isolated, with pre-trial hearings ongoing. The prosecution's case, built from surveillance, DNA, eyewitness accounts, and Brad's own confessions, was poised to confront the cold, calculated actions of a man who had once lived behind a facade of wealth, charm, and normalcy. Though Suzanne's remains had not been recovered, the story had not ended. The fight for justice, truth, and memory continued, a testament to the strength of a family, a community, and a relentless pursuit to ensure that Suzanne Simpson would not be forgotten. Outro Suzanne Simpson's story is a chilling reminder that darkness can hide behind the most familiar doors. A devoted mother, a successful professional, a cherished friend. She vanished in a single night, leaving only echoes of her laughter and the memory of her kindness. Though her body has never been found, her legacy lives on through her children, who refuse to stay silent, and through the community that continues to seek justice. The case challenges us to confront the reality of domestic violence, the fragility of safety, and the lengths some will go to conceal the truth. As investigators continue to search, one thing remains clear: Suzanne Simpson will not be forgotten. Her story demands that we remember, that we speak out, and that we fight for those whose voices have been silenced. Justice may still be out of reach, but hope, memory, and the relentless pursuit of truth endure. Because Suzanne deserves nothing less.